In this tutorial, I'm going to show us the step-by-step process of caging a cupped corset. I'm going to be using an already made pattern. You can create your own pattern, and you can also use an existing pattern. I have my cupped corset pattern, and I also have a regular boning, also known as the sewable boning. So here is a 10 mm boning. Preferably you get a 8 mm boning. You can do it on a 3-piece cup, and you can also do it on a 2-piece cup. It is my same 2-piece cup that I divided into 3. If you want to see the tutorial, kindly let me know in the comment section so that I'm going to share the video with you. After cutting your fabric piece, you are going to fuse a hard stay to the wrong side so that it will be strong enough to support the boning and the structure. I'm going to use just one side of this corset to demonstrate the caging. Okay, so the other side is going to be 2-piece, just in case it looks different. You are going to start by pinning the 2 small pieces together, just like you see me doing. Those 2 pieces are the ones that is going to be on the down part. Then you are going to join it using your sewing allowance. So here I have 0.5, and after that you are going to join it to the one at the top. Okay, so guys, I'm done joining these 2 together. After joining it, you are going to fix it to this one at the top. Before sewing it together, you might want to use a pin to hold the fabric piece together so that you'll be sure. And while doing this, make sure you open up the sewing allowance like this so that it will be easier for you when you want to iron the fabric piece. You can even iron it before joining the upper part. Then you are going to sew it with your sewing allowance. So guys, I'm done joining the 2 pieces together, and as you can see, we have our 3-piece cup intact. So after joining it together like this, you take it to the pressing iron and you use your bust ham to iron it. Do not iron it flat or iron it just on the table alone. And do not forget to notch it like this. So when you want to iron it, you open up the sewing allowance and use a bust ham. I'm done ironing it, and as you can see that even with the fact that it's a 2-piece cup, it is deep enough to occupy the bust. Okay, so once you are done with this, you trim off the excesses inside, that is the sewing allowance. You trim it down a little bit. Do not trim it too much. So after trimming, you now draw the boning lines. But before you draw the boning line, you make sure you mark out the 0.5 sewing allowance you have on the pattern piece. If you have more than 0.5, some people do add 0.75. Whatever allowance you have, you mark it at the top all round. Okay, you measure and mark like this. Then you use either your chalk, your pencil, your pen, or your whatever you are using. You mark it out because your boning should not go beyond that line. So once you are done marking the sewing allowance, you now mark the lines in which your boning are going to follow. One major tip about caging is that when you are drawing the lines, make sure it is not straight. Do not draw a straight line. If you draw a straight line, it will not support the shape of the cup. So when you are doing this, you make sure that the line that you are drawing is a bit curved or bent. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Just what I'm doing. So you are going to measure. And another thing is that you don't need to have too many or so many boning on your cup before you have a properly cupped or a cage cup. Okay, same thing applies to bustier. Just like you see me doing, you measure and mark where you want the boning to be. The wider the boning, the technical the sewing. So that is why I said from the beginning that it is preferably you just get 8 mm boning. It is not as wide as 10 mm. Okay, and as you can see the way I'm drawing this line, you see that it is not a straight line. It's forming like a curve because it has to follow the shape of your cup. In summary, draw your line to follow the shape of your cup. Okay, so once you are done, you start sewing. And when you are sewing, make sure that your boning, the curved part of your boning, follow the shape of the cup. Okay, you know that the cup is going to be facing inside. You place your boning in a curved manner like this. Your sewing has to follow the line that you draw. Decide to start with the vertical line or the horizontal line, or you do it one after the other. You sew the vertical line, you sew another horizontal line, before another vertical line, and so on like that. I hope you understand the way I explain it. So guys, as you can see, I'm not even done with the boning yet, and it's coming out already. Do you understand? So as you are sewing, you'll be cross-checking what you have left, and you can see the boning is not that much. So when you are done sewing the one inside, you are going to sew the last one, and that last one is the one that is going to go round, which is going to cover the edges of all the bonings that you have been sewing. You are going to sew from one point to the other. Then you are going to sew another one at the top. Do you understand? Because you need to secure the edges of the boning that is inside. It's a bit technical. When you're sewing it, you need to take your time and you need to be careful the way you sew it. Do you see how it looks like? Do you see how it goes? So the last one is going to be at the top, and that is it. As you can see, all together I have about 6 to 7 boning. So guys, I'm done sewing that, and as you can see, this is what it should look like. So now the next thing now is to do the fleshing. For the fleshing, you can either use hair stay, your clothes stay, or use a fiber depending on what you have. So guys, I'm going to be doing the fleshing now, and I'm going to be using stay. So if you are going to use stay, you are going to be needing about 5 to 6 layers or more of stay, but you don't need to do too much. Okay, you're just going to cut pieces of stay, you place it on it like this. Make sure that when you are doing this, you make use of your bust ham. Don't do it ordinarily with your hand or just on the table alone. Use a bust ham, and as you are fleshing, you mold it. As you are fleshing, you do the molding. Molding is that you are using the iron to maintain the shape of the cup, as you can see. So if you are using a bust ham, it will be easy for you to mold the cup, so that the shape of the cup will remain. It will not bend, it will not become flat. Do you understand me now? So if you don't have the round bust ham, you can make this one yourself at home. As I'm done fleshing, and this is what it looks like, then I use my iron to also fold in the 1/2 inch sewing allowance all round. Then I also went ahead to join the actual fabric. After that, I iron it. As you can see, this pattern already on its own is having a deep shape. Then I also place a veil net on the fabric to give it a lushy effect. That is optional anyways. Once you are done with this, you are going to place the two on each other like this, and you are going to join it on the top. At the top, you are going to join it at the top with 0.5 sewing allowance. Do you understand me? The one that we caged is going to be the one that is going to serve as the lining. So guys, I'm done joining, and this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so when you flip it to the right side, this is what you should have. So now your cup is ready to be attached to the bodice. So when you want to attach it to the bodice, you start by joining the caged parts first before the other side. Okay, this is the other one. So this one I just put crinoline mesh inside and bra cup. I did not put caging. So now to attach the cup to the bodice, this is how it's going to look like. I want you to pay attention. Make sure to fold in the 1/2 inch allowance like this. This will make it easier when you want to attach to the bodice. You are going to be placing the bodice on the lining like this. Okay, you can use a thread and needle to tack it just to hold it temporarily before taking it to the sewing machine. You place it like this. Make sure you fold in the 1/2 inch allowance. Make sure you fold it in very well. It's going to look as if it's difficult. It is not. Just take your time. So then you are going to use this other one to cover it. So you are going to do it step by step. The first thing is to untack. You can untack or use a pin to hold the bodice to the cage cup first. Okay, the 1/2 inch sewing allowance, you make sure that you place the bodice on it and you stitch it all round from one edge to the other. Okay, so I'm still going to show us how to do that. So I make sure that I place the bodice 1/2 inch on the 1/2 inch sewing allowance that is on the cup. I hope you are seeing what I'm doing. So when you are doing this, you want to take your time. To make it easier, you can use a thread and needle to hold it temporarily before sewing it. Okay, so that is how you are going to sew from one end to the other. To make it easier, you can sew from one end to the middle and start from the other side to the middle again. Just do it however you find it easy, but trust me, you just have to take your time when you are doing it. It's not that difficult. So I'm going to finish it up now and show us how it looks like before. So this is what the wrong side is going to look like. As you can see, do you understand it now? It's going to be as neat as it is. So to use the aqua fabric to cover it, what you are going to do, you are going to fold in the 1/2 inch allowance like this. You can also use a thread and needle to do this one. You can actually use a thread and needle to finish it. You can also sew it a little bit just like you see me doing. You fold in the 1/2 inch allowance. You use it to cover the raw edge of the mesh or the net, just to cover the raw edge of the initial sewing. Then you sew it round from the beginning to the end. Okay, so when you are sewing, this is what it's going to look like. You sew it round. I'm going to sew it forward. I'm going to use a thread and needle to finish it up. So I already sew it to some points before I started using thread and needle. You can also use thread and needle from the beginning to the end if you are good at using it. So if you want to use thread and needle to finish it, you use a hemming stitch and make sure that the sewing is as hidden as possible. Except if you want to do a fabric placement. Even if you are doing a fabric placement or a beading or embellishment, make sure that the finishing is as neat as possible, just like this one that I have here. You take your time. So to even use a thread and needle will take time compared to using a sewing machine. But if care is not taken while using a sewing machine, you might have a rough sewing. You don't want that to happen because the wrong side of the corset has to be as neat as the right side of the corset. Just like this one that I have here. As you can see, even the one that is not caged, you see how it is. So guys, that'll be all for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. If you find it helpful, kindly click on the like button, drop your thoughts in the comment section, check the description box for related videos, share this video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you're here to do so. turn on the post notification so that when next I drop a new tutorial, you are going to be the first person to know. Till we meet again in my next tutorial. Bye bye and take care.